Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Cities Skylines. We are going to be doing a fun and cool and awesome project in today's episode. And you may notice straight away something looks different about the city. I'll give you a second to focus on it to see if you can tell what looks different. But I will mention this is going to be the last video that is live, so to speak. I'm going on vacation soon and I now need to start pre-recording these episodes, so the next ones that you see, you and me are going to be a little bit out of sync from the comment section, because obviously I like to read my comments, get some feedback from you guys and implement those into the episodes, but from this point forward we are going to be completely out of sync. So I will be reading my comments. Feel free as always to leave suggestions and stuff, but it may take me a few episodes to catch up with you because I am, as I said, recording, pre-recording. And did you see the screen freak out for a second then? I'm not sure if that would have got captured by Fraps, but basically I've got the autosave mod on, which is something that you guys suggested, and it's good. It's working, but it makes the screen hiccup every 5 minutes, which is interesting, slightly worrying, but it seems to be okay. The game seems to be fine. And let's talk about that change that I've made. Have a look at the road colours. Loads of you have been asking for this for quite some time, and I got to say, do you know what? I think it does look better. I would probably choose something a little less dark than this, but the darker road texture does look pretty damn cool, I've got to say. Looks like a much better road surface as well. So the city's doing well. If you remember in the last episode we had that power cut, and now apparently it's not doing well. What's going on here? We've got huge industrial demand popping up, and over here they don't have any water. I'm going to guess it's a shortage, yep. And I think we were moving over to water pumping station. Yep, we've got one over here. Let's put another one alongside it. Connect those up together and resume the game. There we go. So what were we talking about before this thing interrupted me? Yes, that's right. We lost our city last episode because of a power cut, and I spent some time rebuilding it. So now it probably looks slightly different. You may be able to notice a few changes here and there. And since rebuilding it, I've also installed some new mods as well. So while we're just hanging out here in the fast mode, we're actually going to do a little experiment based on a comment you guys, or one of you guys left, that said that I should put my budget to 150% on everything because it will allow me to make more money, which I thought was interesting. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to just try that and see what happens. I get a lot of tips and suggestions, and sometimes it's things that we've tried before and haven't worked, but I've never actually done this, I think, so we'll give it a try. We're at 23,000 income, by the way. The reason it's so high is because I opened up a policy in the city, which is one of the things that I wanted to do, and apparently I haven't opened a policy in the city. Maybe that's because we're looking at the cities chart and it's actually in this zone. So where is the middle of this? There it is. What's it called? Butler District. As always, if you want to suggest a name, you can do that down below. So we have a smoking ban, and that's right, the small business enthusiast. And this time it's actually stayed at the increased income, whereas on our previous world we saw it kind of fluctuate and go up for a little while, then come back down again. And it looks like we've got a little bit of a death problem emerging, which is slightly worrying because we should have a fair few of these. You can see... Ah, we're not clicking on the death one. Okay. Will that get taken care of? Oh, all of the city is upgrading. Of course it is, because we just massively increased the budget. Okay, we'll put a third building down in this area over here. Let's just replace, let's see, this building over on this end. There we go. So now we've got 3, kind of nicely positioned. Cool stuff. And our income is down to 16,000. So we lost 7,000. The logic this person said was that if you increase the budget of all your services, that you're going to have bigger households and stuff, and they're going to bring in more money. And I guess that could be true if we're going all the way up to the 5th level, but the thing is we could get there without doing that budget increase. It's an interesting idea, but we'll leave it running and we'll see what this gets up to, and perhaps I'll put it all back down to 100% and we can see if these people, lower their value, they become unhappy or something like that. Experiments are always cool. You can learn a lot of stuff, and it looks like it's starting to creep back up again. So they may have been right, and that's alright. I tell you what, if we make more money for having a bigger budget, that's fine by me. And yeah, so what else have we done? We've installed another mod, and I'm just trying to think about how we see the menu for it. I'm pretty sure it had a menu. Anyway, it's a traffic mod. It allows you to do more stuff with the roads, and one of the things that you can do is make zonable pedestrian paths. So we got these ones through the middle here. They look kind of ugly. Well, if we bulldoze the 2 of these, and then we create a path from here to there. Okay, it connects to the road. That's interesting. It creates a little turning as well. So now we get rid of those gaps. The pedestrians can use it, as you saw right there. There was someone walking across. But also service vehicles can use these, and that might include buses, which would be interesting to see nonetheless. So I don't think this will change any bus routes, but what I'll probably do is an experiment and see if it does. So we're going to do this. Then it's going to take me a little bit of time. And there we go. The buses are using the paths right there. I'm not sure about that. I like the idea of ambulances and fire stations and fire trucks using it, but the buses I'm not so sure about. Either way, it does look pretty cool that they've got their own exclusive lane, and it's going to help with the traffic a little bit as well. And let's see if there's any pedestrians here. Let's pause for a second, slow the game down, and just take a close look. It looks like the trucks would go straight through the pedestrians. That would be so typical, although they're kind of walking over to the side, aren't they? Let's get that first person view going. Let's hop right down here. There we go. Are you going to run into the truck? Sort of walk through the side of it? Oh man, that looks so dangerous. Yeah, it doesn't look too great, does it? I reckon you're going to see, there we go, someone just walked through it. Someone else just walked through it. Brilliant. A little bit derpy. That's interesting. We could see the football field over here. That's not a football field, that's a zone. Oh, we've got some weird kind of visual stuff going on here, haven't we? Let's exit out of that view for a second. And even from down here, it's kind of like see-through a little bit. Maybe I'm just not thinking. If we remove that, it goes away. Okay, yeah, I'm being a derp. Anyway, right, so the first thing we're going to do is replace all of these pathways that I put with some of these footpath roads. And I think this is the only place that we need to do it, but in future we will definitely keep that in mind that we've got that. However, these paths are going to be too wide. But I will do that, and then we'll move on to the project that I have planned for this episode. It's going to be pretty cool. Something that I saw on the Reddit. As soon as I saw it, I was like, I am going to be building that very soon. And I think you guys are going to enjoy it. So look at our budget. It's back to where it was, and now I guess the overall quality of the city has been improved. Interesting how that works. It's kind of something for nothing in a way. Just turn your budget up and you'll still have the same amount of money. But anyway, you can see we've got some bubbles popping up around the city that we need more educated workers. Did they disappear? No, they sort of reposition themselves as you zoom in. So not enough educated workers. Let's have a look at our educational status here. You can see the elementary school we're just about covering. High school we're definitely lacking on. And I don't know if these people are going to need university level education. I don't think they do. Although maybe the offices do. But we could definitely add another high school and cover more citizens, because it could just be a shortage of citizens. So we're going to put one right at the back here and replace those homes, and hopefully that's going to make a difference. Let's see how much that's going to jump up by, if anything at all. There we go. Not much at all actually, but hopefully that'll educate enough more people to satisfy some of these buildings that need those educated workers. And now what we're going to do is focus on today's project. I've actually just saved the game. We're going to use the terraforming tool. That's not how you access it. Which one is the terraforming? There we go. It's somehow managed to get hidden under that other one. Now I haven't used this too much, and we've only got 2 million to work with, but I saw someone using this and it kind of looked like that it had been fixed and it was a little bit fairer. So what we want, I think, is this tool right here, which is going to drag the land out to the same height that you click at. So I want to create a cliff face across this entire island. We're going to be converting it. There's the autosave feature glitching out the screen, and that's not the tool that I thought it was. And straight away we've now got to load the save game up. Okay, so that's the one that makes it just dip all the way into the ground. This is so strange because I was watching someone use this yesterday. Maybe I'm remembering incorrectly. So I'm going to load the save back up and replace the school. So what's this one right here? Is this the one that levels out? Okay, that kind of brings it to a similar level. So if we were to drag this along the side here, there we go. We can sort of create that cliff face. That might take a little bit of work. Definitely seems to be cheaper down here though, so we could drag it all the way around here, create a cliff face across this side. Can we make it across the beach as well though? And what does that look like? I think that's quite awkward looking. I'm not sure if we can get away with that or not. So what do these other tools do? Up and down? So click to go up, right click to go down. That's nice and easy to work with, so we can sort of level things out a little bit on this side over here. Then there's one of them that should sort of smooth things together. That looks like it. So we can smooth it off to the same height. I think we could get away with this if I were to do it properly. You can see it looks a little bit wonky. If we use this tool, we can smooth it up a little bit. So we can probably turn this into a big island. However, this end is going to look a little odd because of the sand. So what I might do is bring the cliff around the front here, and then we can have it dip down into the water, and the sand will be underwater, which will probably look and make a lot more sense. So we're going to load that back up, and I'm really glad this thing is cheaper to use now. This tool looked really interesting, except I don't quite understand what's going on here. When I saw screenshots of it in the tutorial, it had like a grid around it, around this little red box, but we don't see that at the moment. So this is going to, I think, just level things, yeah, like that in a grid shape, which is going to be useful for what we're doing, definitely, but for the sake of the island itself, we don't actually want that one right yet. So this tool is to, yeah, bring it up in a square-like shape, and right-click to go down, and this one is going to be more natural, bring it up, pull it back down. So we've learnt what those two do. Let's just recorrect ourselves with this one. I think this is the smoothing tool, so it just kind of smooths out surfaces until they all blend together, so you can kind of reverse things a little bit there. Okay, that's definitely what that does. Then this one is the one that cuts just down into the ground. Yep, make a massive hole. That's what that tool's called. And then right click doesn't do anything. So we're going to avoid that one altogether. Let's just fill that back in. And do you know what? We've got so much money and this thing is so much cheaper. We could probably continue with what we've done here. But I think I'd like to spend some time making sure I do this right. Now there's one tool that should level it out to the place that you click on. So if I click here and go in, are we leveling that out? I think we're not. I'm not sure what we're doing, because look, this bit here is getting taller. So we click there, and it kind of... I'm not even sure what that's doing now. What if we right-click and drag? So right-click does nothing. There we go. Now it's doing what I thought it would, bringing it down to the level that we originally clicked at. And that's going to be an important tool for what we're doing around here. Awesome, but that is some terraforming for you right there. Oh, I clicked on the wrong tool, didn't I? Except this time it didn't make a massive hole all the way down. This time it just went to this level right here. Or maybe that's what it did anyway. Interesting. Perhaps that goes down to sea level or something like that. And then what's this over here? No idea what this is going to do. Oh, that sort of creates sand. What if we right click? Ah, okay, so for all of this down here, we can click like this. Do you know what we're going to be able to do with this tool? We're going to be able to make our own islands in this space. Well, there isn't actually much space, is there? Maybe over here we can create an island. We can change a couple of these. Do you know what? I was looking at the map. By the way, I unlocked everything. Doesn't it look cool? Let's take a step back here for a second and look around. So I've been looking at the terrain and thinking, some of this is good, some of it I'm not so sure about. I like the size of this island. We've also got the roads going through it, and I wanted to keep everything kind of disconnected. So I'm not sure how that's going to work. This island here looks fantastic as well. And then there's a couple of them where I'm like, oh man, that terrain is just not something we can work with. But now we can change the terrain. We can make this a viable island, as well as this one. Then these bigger islands are the ones that I wasn't too keen on, because the size of them you could build like an independent city. And what I'd like to do is build, you know, like let's say this island here is entirely residential, then that means that they'll have to go and use the transport to get to the other islands to go to work or to go shopping, etc. So that's something really cool. Maybe we could separate this right here into two islands through the middle. There is now so much that we can do. I'm really excited about this. I was a little disappointed this island here got cut off, and there's some cool terrain up here. Oh, the adventure is really on now. It really is, especially with this terraforming tool. So anyway, let's get this project underway. I'm going to load the back up, and we're going to turn this into an island. I'll show you the terraforming, and then we can crack on with the project. Okay, I don't think I did the best of jobs with this. I guess it's my first attempt at doing this kind of stuff. No matter what I did, I couldn't really get the cliff to be that high around the front here. And when I did, there would be this big sort of dip behind it, and then it'd be really difficult to fill all of that in. I feel like I need to figure out the terraforming tools a little bit better. But anyway, I'd like to make some progress, and this next thing that we're going to do is going to make no sense whatsoever at first. And I'll do a little bit of it, and then I'll explain what it is I'm trying to do. Maybe that isn't the best way to do things sometimes. I don't know, I kind of want to keep you guessing, as always. So what we're going to do is lower the land down back here, like so. And we actually want it to go a fair bit deeper. So we're going to try and keep this square grid and go down really low like this. This is starting to look real good. This is exactly what I want. Oh, and now it's going back up. Why are you doing that? Oh, apparently that's strange. Why is it now coming up when I'm right-clicking? Oh, okay. That's not what I wanted to happen. That's really bizarre. Okay, there we go. Now it's gone down. Let's fill it all in. So sometimes it's going to come back up. Sometimes it's going to go down. Let's go over this way a little bit. Create a nice little ledge like that. So now what we've done is we've sort of created a containing area. And I've got a feeling this is actually going to take me a lot of time to figure out. I think this entire area needs to be flat, so I should probably explain what it is we're trying to do. We're going to create something, like I said, that I saw on the Reddit, a reservoir-like system. So what we would do is we would dump all of our dirty water into this bit first of all. There we go, we've got some roads around there. And like what we're doing here, we're going to dump it exclusively into this area. Now, because we've created some cliffs and land, there's going to be a space here for the pipes to dump their outflow into, and it's going to fill up in this space, which means we can also then take water out of it as well. So we would take that water out within a exclusive system, so it wouldn't be connected to the rest of all of this. So we'd take the dirty water and then we'd plop it into another one of these, and that would then process the water. So I thought it would be a really fun and interesting idea, a different way of doing things, but also are we actually going to be able to place that on the side here, facing down into it? Water required. Okay, so it has to be built on the shore front. So it's allowing us to snap here, but it doesn't like it here because there's no water. Does that mean I need a mod to put some water in this to get started? I figured we'd probably just be able to plop this down on the hillside. Okay, this might end up being a little bit more complicated than I thought. Well, it worked. You may be able to see the leftovers of a tsunami wave here. Just going down here. Luckily this didn't hit the city. I made a very small one, but it kind of went all over around here and filled up this bit, which is pretty cool. And now we can place those. So let's resume the game. What I'm going to do is actually load the backup from before when I started making this, because I think it'll take some time to do it properly and to do it pretty, but we're kind of learning. So they need power. Okay, that makes sense. Let's go get them some power from one island to another. Oh, is that acceptable? There we go. So now they should have power, and straight away they start filling it up with poop. So much so that it's just going to go straight over to the sides, isn't it? Oh, that looks disgusting. So it's going to need to be a lot bigger. We're also going to need some decent capacity for dealing with this stuff. So let's think about this, and let's go and have a look at this thing. So how much does it drain? 16,000, and this outputs 12,000. So we're going to need like at least 3 of these, I think, as well. And if we put one right there. Wait, is this the way we're going to do it? No, we're going to make multiple sections of these, just because that looks more interesting. We could do it straight from one to the other like that, but we're going to try and do it a little bit different. So let's get out the terraforming tool. That's why I'm struggling to find it, because it's hidden again. And let's do another one of these sunken down sections over here. So there's definitely a lot more I want to do with this. And man, that really needs to go lower. Oh, we can go lower, that's good. And I definitely need to put more time into preparing this. But there we go. So that's another containing area. So what we do is we put these things over here. So this is clearly not big enough, right? And how much do they pump? A lot less. Actually, no, they pump the same amount. So 3 of these should pump out whatever that brings in. This thing is a complete experiment right now, by the way. That should be obvious. This is obviously not how it's going to look. We're going to make it look a lot nicer. I'm going to put time into designing this. So I've gone back and looked at the screenshot, and now it just becomes so much more clearer that there's a ton of cheaty stuff that has been used to create this kind of sewage facility, because they got buildings entirely in water like this over here, which I think we might be able to do if we were to terraform this and lower it down. But at the moment I realise that most of this is kind of beyond me, which really sucks because I don't want to waste an entire episode working on this. But anyway, let me show you this park that you can get called Seawall off of the Steam Workshop. This thing is really cool. It creates like a wall effect that drops down, and it looks especially good on this side as well. And the way they've done it is they put it on the inside on the thing that I was looking at. And wow, that looks terrible because I've moved the road around. So let's just destroy these and forget that this ever happened. Alright, so if you can tell there, I was getting very frustrated. I've actually tried quite a few more things, and so basically there's a lot of cheaty stuff that went into this sewage system, so to speak, and now I'm trying to figure out what it is that I can actually do with what I know, And here's something I've just learned. You see these seawalls? Now they're getting the effect that we want. And when we've got water in this area, that's going to rise up and look real good right here. But what you have to do is put down the road first of all, make sure it's level, put the parks alongside, and these things are kind of flexible because you can actually destroy the road, which is something we'll do in a moment. But anyway, I want to show you this. If we lower down the land, and that's raising it, why can't I lower it now? Let's try it again. No, sometimes you right click and left click and they just swap around. It makes no sense to me. What if we... Nope, okay, apparently that's raising it again. Brilliant. So I'm trying to show you me lowering it down and all it wants to do is raise it. So let's right click there. There we go. Now it lowers. And if I move where the road is, you'll see that it will do the most it can, but it won't go over. So that means that we can kind of get this thing to work in some respects. But then after we've done that, we can also... Okay, so the road's kind of technically holding it all in place. Brilliant. So our roads are going to have to stay now. We've got some ghosty looking parks down here. Let's get rid of those. Oh, this is silly. I think I'm going to give it one more shot at trying to make this work, and then we're going to have to call it a day. And I think I'm going to roll back the save as well, because this now looks kind of ridiculous. So I've got an idea, more of a long-winded thing that goes all the way down. I don't know how I'm going to make it work, but I will put some more time and effort into this, and if it fails, then I hope you guys have been entertained, because I did not expect this to be so difficult. But anyway, we're going to give it one more shot. So I don't know what to say really. I've spent about half an hour working on this. I'm basically just having a ton of trouble getting the land to all be level, to put the roads down, to put everything in place, and then to remove the land after, so you get the seawalls. And I found a mod that allows you to place stuff without any collision problems, which I'm going to turn off after today, but if you have a look here, look, I can place it there and it will collide with the road, which is how they did this. This is how they had all the things so close together. That looks really derpy. And I'm going to leave you with a screenshot of what they did. I really wanted to recreate this. I thought it was going to be ever so cool. We'd have our own little island over here. It would be like a sewage treatment facility. But I guess I saw the image, I thought, hey, let's jump in and do that, and didn't realise just how difficult this was going to be. It really has been frustrating, and I really wanted to get something done this episode, and now it feels like we've done next to nothing, which is, you know, kind of rubbish. I don't know, we'll get back to it next episode. Hopefully you have been entertained. We're going to leave this project. I'm not going to try and attempt it again. I'm going to roll back the world save for the next one, and we're just going to continue on with something else. So I do hope you've enjoyed it. I'm sorry it didn't quite go to plan. Like I said, I'll put an image on the screen of what I was trying to recreate. And that's going to be it from me this episode. So as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching this video. I have a second channel where you can find additional videos of my Twitch live streams. If you're interested in watching one of my live streams, then come over to Twitch and hit that follow button to be notified of when I go live. And if you're not subscribed over here on YouTube, then feel free to subscribe for more content like this. I also have a creative plot world server, play.xisumavoid.com, where you can build on your own plot and join in the fun with our wonderful community. And if you like social media, then you can interact with me on Twitter at xisumavoid.com. Links to all the relevant things can be found in the description box below.